Hey gamers, Muckluck here, very excited to show and share with you what I have been doing today. Some of you may have seen my recent videos where I was showcasing my attempts at making a druid that could go back to being a responsive healer who uses Astral Form for when these tools that Astral Form provides are needed and not just burning it constantly for alacrity. Thus was born the attempts at making the Lingering Light build. And I was sharing them with some other people, and one of them, I think they were trying to be snarky, messaged me back and said, I would never take your druid into one of my raids unless you were able to solo heal it. I had never even thought about doing that. And I gotta say, the prospect excited me because that was a challenge I had never taken on before. I know that some of the highest echelon of Guild Wars 2 players do run raids where they have one person solo heal the raid, but that's also not a community I really consider myself a member of. So I decided to try it out. The build has been slightly refined since the last time I showed it in a video, which was less than 24 hours ago, but this is the build as it is now, just for the druids out there who might be interested in trying this out. Jungle Stalker is helping with might generation. Instead of the Fern Hound, we are using Rejuvenation plus Windborn Notes to get maximum regeneration. The Jungle Stalker plus the Clarion Bond plus Call of the Wild plus occasional Rejuvenating Tides and Natural Convergence will completely cap out the might generation. And although I did say I don't like going into Astral Form just for the sake of boons, with Lingering Light, when you leave Astral Form, if you're healing 9 other people, you can go back in between 2 and 3 seconds. So it does not feel like, if someone just gets trucked right when you leave Astral, you can go back in like 2 seconds. It's not nearly as big a deal when you're locked out of it for another 9 seconds because of using Grace of the Land. The rest of the traits are as you see here. I was also running Water Spirit combined with Invigorating Bond. We had near full uptime on Vigor with Invigorating Bond, and hitting F4, F2 every time it was up for the pet. And I was also using Glyph of Alignment to maintain protection uptime. Now, Glyph of Alignment in non-Astral Form, it does pretty much nothing since we're a healer, but in Astral Form, if you do it then, it's an additional heal. It's a very fat heal. It heals for more than Water Spirit does, and it also cures conditions. So whenever it lined up, I would use it in the Astral Form, just to top people off, cure conditions, and also refresh the protection. But if I had to do it to keep prot from falling off in normal form, I would just do it. It wasn't often that I had to do that. And then, of course, we still have Allies Aid, Search, and Rescue, and Glyph of the Stars in order to revive people. Now, I did do a group just to show you. This is a standard group. You got 2 healers that provide alacrity or quickness, 2 DPS that provide alacrity or quickness, and then 6, we'll say, pure DPS. Our group was 1 healer, 4 DPS that provided alacrity or quickness, and 5 pure DPS. So we basically traded 1 pure DPS and 1 healer for 2 support DPS. Now, if you're assuming, I think the average support DPS, like an alac DPS or quick DPS, is like between 60 to 80% of a pure DPS. I think it was a net gain. And, we only had to, so the total damage output of the raid, I'm pretty sure went up. People will fact check me on that. They fact check me on everything. But it felt like the DPS was much higher. We made sure there was some combination of people in Group 2 that was giving them protection, and we were off to the races. I handled everything else. We did Etherblade, Jade Junkyard, Kanek. Honestly, they were freaking a yawn. It was so easy, it was a non-thing. There was like 1 or 2 deaths, and there were people that failed instant kill mechanics, not something I could be pulled out of. Harvest Temple is what I'm about to show you. It was a lot of fun. It was a rush, and yeah, I'll play the video. The healing output of this is higher because Glyph of Alignment in Astral Form is an additional heal skill that we didn't have before. But get ready to CC.
There, it's been purified. Break it to send it back. The Dragon Void is exposed.
Aren't you tired? Join.
You lose.
I will set you free.
Sharp blades, sharp mind.
Smash him!
That hurt. Givers or not. Remember, the thing in the middle is the mind control orb. Don't spend too much time on that. Some of you are standing on it.
Sharper still.
Good.
Search and rescue.
Got him.
That was a blast.
Above and beyond.
He was he was a little confused, chat, but he had the spirit.
Element of fire. Obey me. Cooling down.
Sick 'em.
You know what'd be funny is if this one's successful and I made a video and it was titled like solo healing Harvest Temple with new build, and then it just plays Lord Hyzen soloing Harvest Temple.
Come here. Sharp blades shock mine. Aftershock.
It's like, yeah, he's solo healing himself.
Slice him apart.
Just a lick of frostbite.
It's not a lie.
Element
Another
of earth.
corrupted
Hear
orb.
me.
You know what to do.
Sick 'em.
You will not succeed. What began as void shall return to it.
High toxicity.
Alright, I see someone else is pushing. I'm gonna come back to do some healing. Alright, health bars are topped off. Get ready to CC.
I'm nigh invincible.
Okay. Oh, search and rescue! Oh my gosh. Woo! You drank the death juice!
Come here. Fill 'em full of holes.
Topping off the might stacks.
Sharper still.
Doesn't it?
Remember that we need to jump those shockwaves soon. Please don't mess that up. And kill the odds when you see opportunities.
That was a blast.
Shoot.
Search and rescue.
Head is rezzing that guy.
Such synergy. I chose you.
The person that died went down on the first shockwave, so he died to the next two. If he had gone down on the second or the third, he would have been revivable. Okay, get to the far end of the platform, please. Please, 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 please.
Barrier up. Good luck.
Slice 'em apart.
Watch out for death juice. Watch out for death juice. I'm glyphing, just to be safe. I'm glyphing on top of you guys.
Rocket punch.
Element of water.
Hot
Attend
volcano.
consuming fire. Another. I am the wind.
An ancient mountain.
Blade storm.
Okay, holding off on boons till everyone gets back together.
Sharper still. Lightning bolt.
Got one down.
Search and rescue.
Once more. It's working.
Okay, we're on the salt spray.
I chose you. A clever combination.
Alright, I'm pushing the orb. This is not the orb where you need the projectile block on it. That's the black one. Glyphing. Okay, I'm back to pushing the orb.
I chose you.
Just watch out for the little black blob monsters. Don't let them hit the orb or the big explosion will happen. Get ready to CC. Get ready to dodge roll.
Blade storm.
Sick 'em. Rocket punch.
Watch out for the tail.
Another.
I'm gonna do stability just in case anybody makes a mistake
That
here.
magic buildup is devastating. Don't let it escape the tower.
Okay, this is it. This is the only part I'm a little concerned about. So push it against each other and keep doing projectile blocks as much as you can. You guys are doing great so far. All right. Now it is our battle to lose.
Such synergy.
Don't get burned.
Aftershock. Landslide.
I'm gonna glyph heal those two. They're down. They're rezzing. They're rezzing. I got them. They're both up. I have put that on my resume. I have solo healed Harvest Temple. And the only death, I might have been able to save them if Search and Rescue had been off cooldown. Why are these puddles on me? What the heck? The only death was someone who got hit by all three of Mordremoth's shockwaves. So I'm putting an asterisk next to the line on my resume. Who died at the start? It was Mordremoth's shockwaves. So on the shockwaves, the first one downstated him, the second one took half of his downstate bar, and the third one finished off his downstate bar. And at that moment, Search and Rescue was on cooldown. I did have Ally's Aid, but that requires me to be in melee range of them. So I couldn't start a tricky risk, because I was jumping shockwaves at that moment. So unfortunately, just wasn't able to do that. Boon up time doesn't say 25 for might, but that's because when we're running around handling the marble and stuff like that, it falls off. I'm pretty sure I had it at 25 might and full fury, full prod, and full regen every time we were stacked up for other stuff. But yeah, thank you guys. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. All right. So yeah, someone said that you look like you were having more stability yesterday. I think that this was just more intense than yesterday. Because, like, what did I trade out since yesterday? I swapped Glyph of Rejuvenation for Water Spirit, which is, Water Spirit's arguably a little less healing output, potentially. Only because Water Spirit has the same healing to other people that Glyph of Rejuve has when you're not an Astral. But Glyph of Rejuve and Astral heals for more. But Water Spirit allowed us to reach like 95% Vigor uptime. And so we had Vigor, we had Regen, we had Prot. Glyph of Alignment. In non-Astral, it was literally... Dude, look at this. It freaking bleeding. I'm not Condi. It was literally just the Prot. But in Astral, look at it. It heals others for more than my heal skill does. 4,200 base heal to others, and it removes 3 conditions. So I was hitting Glyph of Alignment almost on cooldown to keep Prot up, but anytime possible, I was doing it from Astral form because the heal was massive and the condition cleanse was nice. So if I saw that it was coming up and I could line it up with Astral, I would. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, the stuff we moved around, Regen was topped off. Regen was good, Fury was good, Prot was good, and Might was 25. Now, to get 25 Might now, we do have to go Astral, and I'm sure I'm going to have some people that have been paying attention to my complaints lately be like, I thought you said you hated going Astral to do boons. I do, but the reason behind that hate is I hate when I'm leaving Astral form, and then there's an emergency happens. Someone needs big healing, someone needs Glyph of the Stars, or something needs to be CC'd. And Astral's perfect for all of those things. So if I'm leaving Astral and one of those things pops up, it sucks. With this build, even if I go into Astral to provide a bunch of boons, I can go back into Astral in like 3 seconds. Rather than 10, which is a huge thing. So it doesn't feel nearly as painful to come out of Astral and see an emergency, because as long as the emergency, it'll still be there in 3 seconds, I can still handle it. So that's kind of how this feels. But yeah, like, honestly, that wasn't even that hairy. Like, the one person that died was just like a mechanic thing. And the other times, I remember one time I stopped pushing the orb in the early phases and I let someone else take over because I saw health bars were getting down to half because a lot of people got hit by something. And I ran over and patched them up and then I got back on the orb. And then they did really good with handling projectile block spam on the orb during the one scary phase 11. So I was able to just focus on healing and a little bit of, pitching in with the pushing. Big question. Do you prefer this over providing a lack to 5 people? Yes. Yes. Again, it is the worst feeling when I'm like, okay, there's your alacrity. There's your alacrity. Oh, okay. All right. And then emergency happens. And this has 10 seconds on the cooldown, and I have 0 Astral Power. That is the worst feeling. Like, yes, I have some other heal skills I can use while not in Astral form. I do have some tools. However, again, it's like, let's say those are on cooldown or something. It just... I hate tying this up completely. That entire weapon set up for alacrity. I really don't like it. Anyway, yeah. So, because I think on average, a boon DPS boon DPS provides 66 to 80% of a normal DPS. So something like that. So, I mean, as long as it's over 50, then trading 1 for 2 should be a net gain.